Parking ticket, parking ticket, parking ticket, parking ticket. Oh, this was the dentist. Electricity bill, which is overdue. Wait, 2 electricity bills. Gas bill. Moving out of your parents, they said it would be fun.
Yeah, give me lit. Holes on my phone when they find out that I'm rich, then they switch. When they say I'm choosing on my bitch.
Okay, so you live with your parents and you're a Forex trader or entrepreneur. From experience, it's really not that bad. I'm telling you that from someone who's made the transition, who's done it, came back with their parents, moved out again, then kind of came back with their parents and moved out again. I've literally done it all when it comes to moving out. And it was a funny experience. I'm not trying to put you off from moving out. I just want to tell you my story and then you can decide whether it's something you want now or something you want maybe a bit later on.
Hi, Joel.
Mum, what was it like living with me as a young entrepreneur / Forex trader?
Yeah, it was good. It was good. It wasn't always easy. Times things went really well for you and we could celebrate and it was all really exciting. Other times you struggled, so that was a little bit difficult because you would retreat. So yeah, it was a mixed bag.
I think the biggest thing was, you know, when I left school, the trust of you obviously trusting me to do well in what I was doing. So what gave you that trust?
That's a good question. I think it was hard initially. At the very beginning, we were probably persuasive, trying to get you into something that felt real and felt right for you.
Yeah.
But I think from my relationship with you, I realised that I needed to start trusting you and to give you space to see what was inside.
Yeah.
And when you can see something there, it made it easier to give you the space and say, okay, I'm going to trust you through the highs and the lows. Yeah, again, that wasn't an easy process, but it was a choice that we made.
Okay, all right, Mum. Thank you so much for your time. I'll speak to you a bit
You're
later
welcome.
on.
All right, take it easy. Love you.
All right, love you, bye. Okay, so in 2018, just literally at the start of 2019, I moved in with a close friend of mine. Everything was going so well. I had the car, like my dream car at that time, money behind me, girls hitting up my line, literally everything I wanted, everything was good. What happened next? Of course, my trading went very badly and ended up losing money and I got myself into the spiral down. Yeah, it didn't end up well. I dreamt of moving out, having everything that I wanted to have. I had all of that, apart from my trading. My trading at that period of time was just not on point. I had a really good period running up to that, and then as soon as I moved out, it dipped down. I don't know what that was, maybe too many distractions, and yeah, I ended up moving back in with my parents. I remember coming back and I just didn't feel good. It literally almost broke me and almost, you know, ripped me to my core, because you dream of something and then you live it for a few months and then suddenly everything just gets ripped to shreds and you have to move back in with your parents. Yeah, it sucked. It really did suck. But the point of this is basically to help you guys make the right decision whether you should move out with friends. I'm gonna, just tell you my take on moving out and living with your parents as an entrepreneur. The point that I extracted from my little story was I wasn't ready for what I had. I wasn't ready for what was to come. I wasn't really mentally ready for it. And it showed because I had to move back in with my parents. So we've all heard the statement, don't move out until you're ready. It's a pointless statement. It literally is a pointless statement. You're never ready for anything, but what you can do is prepare yourself in the right ways and really make sure it's right for you. I'm trying to make you guys have a rational approach to moving out. I'm stupid, I'm dumb, probably shouldn't speak like this of myself, but like, I'm obviously not the smartest person in the world. But what I will say is I've done it. I've been there. I've been from one side of the story to the other side of the story, and I've got a lot of knowledge to share with you about this. What are the positives of living with your parents? Pretty simple. Free food, it's really cheap. Security of living with your parents. Washing, in some households, your washing gets done for you. It was never in my household, but someone out there definitely still gets their mum to wash their hand. If you're doing that, stop doing that now, because you need to do your own washing. Right, so negatives. What are the negatives? So you may not be able to get girls around. You may not be able to have your own space. Like some people, I guess you feel like your space is intruded, telling you what to do, like you're in the middle of something and they say, no, come and do this now. It's like, they get to a stage where you think to yourself, okay, right, what I'm doing is important. Why are you telling me to do this right now? It's not important. I found that with my parents, I would be doing something actually important and I needed to concentrate and they'd say, come and do the washing up. I was like, wait, so I'm doing something important, you want me to wash up now when it could be done in 10, 15 minutes. So I'm sure some of these situations you guys are being in. I did help my parents out, but probably not as much as I should have. And then the last one is, have you guys ever heard you live under my roof? That is, for some reason, all parents say that. You live under my roof. You do, but you don't have to tell me, you know, don't rub it in. Right, so let's weigh them up. You can't really. Some people will, you know, be affected more by other things, and some people will be affected more by the negatives than the positives. Do you see what I'm saying? So you can never really say, okay, right, because of all of this, I'm gonna move out. Because of all of that, I'm gonna move out. You can't really say that. There's so many pros and cons with living with your parents, and I'm trying to make that a point in this video is, it is very, very good living with your parents. And only can I say that since I got these. Okay, let's get on a level here. Parents are annoying as think. You know what comes after that? So all day long, I'll be on my computer, doing my work, typing out my stuff, and my parents would come back. Just at that minute, they would come back around 5, 6 o'clock, right? I'd be sitting on my computer, and just around that time, you know, the market sort of die down and it starts to get quieter. I'd be on Netflix maybe. I'd be watching Netflix at that point. They come home, see me sitting there all day and think to themselves, what does this guy actually do? Like, does he actually do anything all day? And that used to frustrate me so much. It almost used to be like I would have to make sure that I was typing something up by the time they got back, so they thought, oh, he's actually doing something. I'm sure you guys have got stories like that as well. But I remember doing that purely because I just felt bad that I was sitting at home, you know, making money from home, sometimes losing money as well, but making money from my house, and they would go out to work, come back and be like, what is going on? What is happening? But I think what helped me the most was picturing myself in their perspective of, okay, they came home, what was I doing? Nothing. You know, it kind of makes sense that they would be like moody, angry. I don't know, look, it's different in every single household, and this is why it's a kind of a hard video to do, because some people experience things way more extreme than others, but for me, that's what I experienced the most. Parents these days, funny enough, parents these days are actually encouraging their kids more now to, for example, game, start a YouTube channel, start streaming, because they've seen people like Ninja, they've seen all these big influencers making so much money on YouTube, so much money on Twitch, this, that, and the other. So I think parents are much more encouraging towards children, not children, you guys aren't children, I hope, but teenagers to work from home or try something new, because everything's on the internet now. So what you got to realize is parents can catapult you into the next stage. So they can catapult you throughout your life. Funny enough, the age between 16 and 25 is probably the most difficult time of your life. Yeah, you have your difficulties before 16 and after 26, but the period of time that is the most hardest is that period where, you know, you've got to deal with so much pressure on school, you've got to deal with pressure on college, uni. This is why you need to be with your parents, to give you that bubble and that protection so that you can really find yourself, you can grow in yourself without having the excess stress of moving out and the excess stress of having to deal with this, having to deal with that breaks, you've got to pay this bill, you've got to sort dinner out tonight, there's so many different things that go on in your head. And during that period of time, you need to make sure that you are focused on your goal, and that is to make your life something special. All right, so a really good quote that I've heard is that this is a stage of your life from 16 to 25 is a stage of your life that you have the freedom to fail. A stage of your life that you have the freedom to fail. When you're under your parents' roof, typically between that age, it gives you the freedom to fail. When you're on your own, or when you've moved out or bought a house, the problem is this: you don't really have the freedom to fail. Of course, to some extent you do, but the pressure is on 24/7 to make sure you make that money. And I'm strictly speaking for entrepreneurs here. Of course, 9 to 5, you still got that stresses, but it's slightly, you know, more relaxed, because obviously, you know, you're definitely getting your money at the end of the month. With us, it's not the case. We're not guaranteed money at the end of the month. So it's super important to understand what stage that you're in your life, and understand that now is the time to jump, make the leaps, do all of the dumb stuff you want to do to reason. Obviously to reason, but this really is that time to make the leap. Try out things that you can try out and you want to try out, because as soon as you move out, you've really got to be on a focus mode of making sure you're making your rent, you're being able to feed yourself and paying bills. All right, so how did I do it? How did I move out? Okay, so moving out as a trader is very difficult. As an entrepreneur is very difficult because of your income type. I'm gonna go briefly through, you know, how you need to do it. The best thing is obviously finding someone that you know and renting through them. So for example, if you know a landlord, rent through that landlord. Or if you've got a group of people who want to move into a house, the chances are it's gonna be a lot better if you move in with those people rather than, you know, moving straight in with yourself. But if you are looking to move in by yourself, what you need is a P45. This is mostly for the UK people, so I'm gonna keep it very, very, very brief. If you do need information for the UK guys who are looking to move out and is a trader, DM me, because it's, yeah, different in every other country. I only know for UK. But what I will say is you need a P45 to just prove your income. You don't need to, but it would be suggested that you would put down, you know, 2 to 3 months rather than just the one deposit. But I think majority of people will have to pay 6 months up front, 6 to 12 months up front. But yeah, like I said, if anyone needs any further details on that, let me know in my IG DMs. Okay, anyway guys, it's a pretty brief video. That's my experience, that's my thoughts of moving out, living with your parents as an entrepreneur. I hope you enjoyed it. Have a good one, and I shall speak to you. I won't speak to you. I will see you in the next video.
I can tell who's on the way out. 25 show, check the payout. I ain't going home, I'ma stay out. Motherfuckers hate you when they looking for a way out. I just sit back and let it play out. And she gon' let me hit it any day now. What you gonna say now? My ex-girl got a bait now, but she still let me stay now.